Site, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about designing a home page. Now, I'm doing this in .NET Nuke. This is not to show you how to use tools. This is more to show you how to think about designing a home page. I am in the midst of attempting to come up with ways to do it. Of course, I'm using AI to generate just basic code. And then from there, I am this again. This is not about coding. This is about how to think in the design world about this. So I'm going to edit this. I'm going to add a component. You see, I've got this already. This component right here says where am I, and then I'm going to edit the content. And again, this is not about learning the code. This is more about learning the look and feel. So here, what I've got is I've got a header area. I've now got a centered section that's got her information. Her phone number repeats twice. I'm actually going to take that out, so I'm going to remove that. Think about it. This would be just removing a small section of text for you. I'm doing it in code because it's a little faster for me to do it that way. I've done that. All this stuff here. Let's see. I'm going to now add text somewhere else. I want to add her phone number. Sorry, not her phone number. I want to add more text information. There's a phone number already up there. All right, what am I going to do that? There's that. And then again, if you already had this, you would be doing this in a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get editor. I'm doing this in code because I get a lot more control out of code. But this was not a coding class, so we have to go with what we've got. All right, click here, hit edit content. Oops, that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to edit the content here. Of course, I'm adding HTML, paste, and hit save. So now you see I've got this right here. Now I'm going to actually move this into a lower section. I want to put it there. And you'll notice that this part right here is visible by administrators only. I'm going to edit content, and I want that background color to be a darker color. So of course you do that. I'm going to want this to be larger, and I want it to be in a pill shaped button. So of course you're just going to drag a button there. Me, I have to do this all in code. I will say the one good thing about a WordPress is you can drag elements directly where you want them, and they can actually be combined into a pattern merged component. All right, so let's go ahead and just preview this real quick. So let's hit refresh, and you'll see that now I've got that there. I'm going to change this background. Let's start with a simple conversation, and I'm going to hit edit content. There's that. I'm going to make this a background color is, now what was the background color I'm using? Not that one, not that one. I am looking for this right here. And I can just paste it right there and hit save. And now you'll notice that this section has a background color. I'm going to change this now to be a pill-shaped button by going to edit content, copy all this code, go over here to Claude and say, make the talk with Dana link into a pill-shaped button with a dark blue gradient background and white text. So again, this is not about you learning to code. This is about you learning to design. So now I've got an idea of what I want. For you, you would just go grab a button and you would drag it into the right spot, and you would then go in and affect the corners with a little slider and make that larger text. And now I'm going to come in and just, once it's done, I'm going to come in and just drop that code right in place. If we refresh, we see that we've got this here. I'm going to do one more thing when I grab this code. And I'm going to copy the code and go back into here, go into HTML, paste, and now I want this section, I want this div to have border radius 1 rem, and I want it to have margin 1 rem. Let's see how that looks. So now when we scroll down, we should have rounded corners, which we don't currently have. Edit. Let's see where I went wrong. Div. Well, let's put that border radius. Is that a semicolon? Did I get that as a semicolon? Take it out of there, and I'll put it, the style, on the section and hit, gotta make sure it's in HTML format or it'll screw it up, then hit save. Again, the goal is to think what type of design I'm looking for. You would be using different tools to do this. I'm using .NET Nuke, and then I'm going to shift to here and hit refresh. And now you see I've got this rounded button, talk with Dana. Of course, that would link to something else. And then I would, you get this sectioned out kind of thing. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about what your website is. Your website is either an orchard, or it's a mechanic, it's a racetrack, it's a board gaming, tabletop gaming store, and think, what are the things that make your website image, what's it going to need to do this? And do you need just a static hero shot like what I've got, or does your hero shot need to move? Does it need to rotate? Those are still a valid way to do things. Does the text, notice the text size. Think about it. I'm talking to people who are on Medicare, usually an older crowd. Does the text size need to be larger, or can it reside as a smaller thing? I will say this one, I don't like the text here because it's a lower saturation. It's a gray over top of a darker yellow. So maybe this text should be better, have better contrast. In that case, would I go in and would I, let's see here, what is that text? A request a consultation. So if I look for the words request a consultation. I might come in and say font size, heck, let's just do 1 rem, line height, and I'm going to do color would be white, and font weight would be bold. You can do that. All of the things I'm doing, you can do within the editor itself. Hit edit content, go like that, paste, hit save, and we scroll down and we see white text on yellow. Let's go look at it in the logged out version. And that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. The contrast is perfectly fine there. It's weird that the dark gray is not contrasty enough, but the white is. So what I want you to do as you build your homepage, think about what kind of image a person sees when they are not scrolled down. Think about text size. Think about the layout. Some of you might want to lay out things where it's got this stuff, got stuff on this side, and it might then have another column right here, or vice versa. The small column could be on this side. What kind of images do you want? So let's say that in this, I want to have an icon right here. All right, so I'm going to go do that in the next video. I'm going to work on this just a little bit more. I'm going to put an icon like a speech bubble or something, and I'm going to then left align all of this text so that we get a little more something like this. Notice that my colors are starting to resonate, and going back to the white text, maybe the next thing I need to do is come in and make this text white and make it larger. All right, so I'll see you in the next video where we talk a little bit further about design.